Welcome. I'm Dr. Laurel Barr. I am the chair of the Early Career Physicians section, and I am here with International Section Chair Dr. Sean Kivlehan, who is here to talk to us about all the great things that we're doing there. Sean, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the international section.
So I've been involved in international work for a long time. I actually started as a paramedic before medical school, and that's how I first touched international work. And that was really my drive to go to medical school, is because I enjoyed doing international work and I wanted to do more of it. So throughout medical school, and then I picked emergency medicine really specifically for its ability to do international work. I think ER is the natural fit for this type of work, for our skill sets and our ability to problem solve and patch holes in systems and flexibility. So then after residency, I did a fellowship in global health, which then set up my faculty career, where I currently work at Brigham and Women's Hospital and am faculty at Harvard Medical School in the School of Public Health, and help lead some of their global health programs at Harvard Humanitarian Initiative. And we do international work really all over the world, but a big focus on conflict zones. So naturally, as an ER doctor doing international work, I wanted to find my people outside of my immediate home. And from residency, when I first joined ACEP, I have been involved in the international section as a resident and ever throughout. And was lucky enough to meet a ton of my mentors and now colleagues through it. So over the years, I've gotten more involved, and now had the opportunity to finally give back, try to give back, at least as best I can, some of what the ACEP International Section has given to me. So excited to have the privilege of being chair for this year and try to bring this community together.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like emergency medicine is kind of the greatest specialty for global outreach because we just work with what we have and it's so different everywhere. So that's awesome. One of the great things that I love about this section is that it seems to expand out of ACEP so well and just have that great fit. Whereas all the other sections, we tend to operate within ACEP and then have to kind of reach out. Sounds like you got your fingers in everything outside of ACEP and within. So it's a great place to just meet new people and network and find out some really cool new things.
And we pride ourselves on that. We see ourselves as really the external door of ACEP outside of the US. And there's a lot of education and opportunity and knowledge to be shared. Emergency medicine, even in the US, is still relatively new, right? In the picture of medical specialties. And many other countries in the world are going through what we went through with emergency medicine, the founding of a specialty. They're going through it right now, or they just went through it, or they're getting ready to go through it. So one of our big roles is sharing our expertise and experience to try to help others around the world advance the specialty of emergency medicine. And really, the real goal is, of course, to ensure that patients have access to high quality emergency care everywhere in the world, regardless of where they are, and by trained emergency physicians, which is how we see our mission and purpose.
Yeah, front door to the world almost. And I think the other great
Exactly.
thing about this specialty is you do things in other languages. I read something recently that where they were joking and they're like, "Oh, you don't read any research papers outside of English?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't actually. That makes total sense. But your section does things in more than that, huh?"
Yeah, we have membership all over the world, which is really great, and very close alignment and collaboration with the I call them the ACEPs of other countries, so the other national societies, and work very closely with their leadership. We bring them to ACEP, and we go to their conferences, and we help them support their journals. Just some members of our section actually were involved in the founding of the Latin American Emergency Medicine Journal that just launched, and it's a Spanish language journal on emergency care, and it ties into, we hold webinars, and we hold a monthly webinar in Spanish, and it's really well attended across the U.S., but then across Spanish speaking countries as well. So we expand this into other languages as well. So it's a great opportunity to just see what's out there, because emergency medicine is the great unifier, I think, of the world, right? I mean, no matter who you are, where you are, emergencies happen, and it's a way to bring people together. It's how we can better care for our neighbors.
Yep. Never want to meet us, but when we're there, we're the good people for it.
Exactly.
All right. So the section core mission, so to connect those interested in global EM to collaborate and advance a specialty. Sounds like you're doing a whole lot of things on that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, personally, I've always seen the goal of all the sections, but in this one in particular, is bringing people together, showing people the community. If you're an ER doctor and you're interested in international work, global health, if you just want to learn about it, or you're curious in doing work in other countries or whatever it may be, where do you get started? I want us to be that obvious place where you get started. So if you don't know anybody, you don't have a connection, you just show up at one of our meetings or send us a message, and we can introduce you to the whole world that exists, that's out there. So you don't need to do it yourself, and we can help you along. So networking is, I think, the most important service that we provide, bringing together people who are doing similar work and getting them all in the same place. It's great, and I think we do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. On that note, tell me about the ambassador program.
So the ambassador program is one of our best programs, I think, and most impactful. So how this works is we have it's similar to an ambassadorship, as you may think in a state government or policy level. We've identified ER doctors in the U.S., ACEP members, who have a special interest in the delivery of emergency care or the development of the specialty of emergency care in another country. They may have that interest because of their own personal background, or maybe they're from that country, or maybe they have family there, or maybe they've worked there in the past, or they have some other interest. So, but these are ACEP members who are generally practicing emergency medicine in the US, and that's one side of the ambassadorship, and there are ambassadors to a different country. And then on the other side, we have an emergency physician from that country who is the ambassador to the US. So they are partners, and there's a person from each side. And it's a really great forum that we use to trade ideas on emergency care, find solutions, foster academic work, policy work, really everything. Currently, we have ambassadorships bilaterally in over 70 countries around the world, and we're growing every year. We hold a conference every year, a mid-year virtual conference, which is in March this year, and then at ACEP, we hold a summit the day before ACEP, actually, the day before the conference, which this year I believe it will be October 4th, and where we invite leaders from multiple different countries that will present on the state of emergency care in their country and how people can get involved, what lessons we can learn. So the ambassadorship is really the center of the web that we've built, and it's a really powerful tool for communication and advocacy, where I think we've done a lot of good to advance the specialty. And we're also tapped into by a lot of other organizations just because of our ability to quickly reach out to another country and connect. We provide service to the ACEP board for that, but we also provide services to even the World Health Organization. Will tap us to say how we're looking for an ER doctor in this country. Do you know somebody? So it's a really great service that we provide and that we are proud of.
Wow, 70 countries. What a wealth of information and exchange. All those things that I could learn from all those people. Sounds amazing.
You know, it's funny though, for as different as it is, one thing that it shows you is how small the world is. Because I'll tell you, the same problems that you face in your ER on your last shift are the same problems that they're facing everywhere. And it's nice in a way. It makes you feel close, but at the same time, it's kind of frustrating that wow, boarding, all these things, it's everywhere. Different interspecialty personality stereotypes carry through international boundaries. I can tell you.
What you mean? Like the ER docs always wear the helmet,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
even when they drove to work?
Exactly.
All right. Well, tell me about the student leadership program.
So, student leadership program, this is another really important goal of ours is to provide, again, it ties into access and networking, but also building a pipeline in the future of emergency care. So, so zooming on the need for this first is if you look at ER residencies across the United States, right? I don't know the exact number. I think 200 or so. There's only 36 global emergency medicine or international fellowships. So, and generally those are the programs that attract faculty that are interested in global health or have experience. There's others scattered, But the reality is that the vast majority of ER residents and also medical students don't have direct access to global health or international mentorship. So they might be interested in it and they just don't know who to reach out to get that guidance or mentorship. Or maybe they don't know that they're interested in it because they've never been exposed to it. They don't realize the incredible work that ACEP and not just ACEP, but ER doctors in general do around the world in this and how they get involved. So we created what's called the GEMS LP program, which is the Global Emergency Medicine Student Leadership Program, and it's a program that has 30 students in it a year, and these are generally medical students or sometimes junior residents that are from schools programs where they don't have access to global emergency medicine mentorship, and they're really interested in the specialty. And then we have mentors who provide, I serve as one of them, and then there's many others who are doing this work in different parts of the country, and it's all virtual. So you log on to Zoom, they hold a journal club that's led, and you provide some mentorship. You talk about the work that you've done, you talk about your pathway, and it's an incredible tool for the next generation of the people that are going to do this work beyond us. And I'd say already, like a lot of our leadership in the section coming up are people who participated in this program. So it's been a really powerful entryway, and it's costs nothing except for some time because it's all virtual and it's really accessible. So it's a great program that we're looking to expand.
Yeah, I love how you even start on international advocacy with students because I was a student. I would have loved to do that, but I just didn't have any opportunities through my school. So this is a great way for even just the really early career physicians to get involved and to start that career pathway and just reach out in low stakes to see how they like it. Because not everybody can take the whole summer off. I mean, life gets in,
Exactly.
but starting things out and then making those connections is great and will last a lifetime.
Exactly.
All right. Well, there's still even more stuff that your section is doing, and I love it. You also do monthly webinars. You mentioned multiple language, and then you have the Global Village as an international forum. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, the Global Village we've done for the past 4 years, and this is a ton of fun. And this is my shameless plug here is that if you're at the ACEP Scientific Assembly, please stop by the Global Village. Global Village is in the exhibit hall, and we have designated space every year where we have a series of presentations and lectures from emergency physicians from around the world who are attending ACEP. Last year, we had the leaders of 12 different national organizations from 12 different countries who presented about what does emergency medicine look like in their country, what challenges and opportunities do they see, and how can they work together. It's a really nice forum. There's a little stage, but then there's tables, there's snacks, place to sit down, and a lot of networking and activities, and it's a ton of collaborative opportunities. So if you're interested in learning about how emergency medicine is practiced around the world, you're interested in doing global health work, please stop by. It's free. It's there. Just come find us in the exhibit hall, and you'll literally meet ER doctors from around the world, and it's just an incredible event. So we'll be there again this year, and we'll have another lineup of at least a dozen different countries. So please stop by.
Sounds like a great thing to do while you're navigating around all the free squishies and other handouts.
And you can pick up your swag, and you can get free. We try to get a spot right next to one of the free coffee stands, so you can get some coffee, get your swag, your pens, and your squishy toys, and then talk to your doctors from around the world for a little bit before you go on to your next lecture. It's great, and we're there every day of the exhibit hall.
Great. I didn't even think about that for going around the exhibit hall. I'm usually just trying to get past people selling me stuff as fast as I can. So now I've got another objective to go to.
Exactly.
Oh, sounds wonderful. Let's talk about advocacy and collaboration. So you advocate inside ACEP and outside ACEP. Tell me about your priorities.
Yeah, so they're aligned, but they're different. Like you said, inward looking and outward looking. So inward looking, we provide advice to the ACEP board on international matters. So if they want to learn about a board member wants to learn about what is happening in a different country or something that the UN or WHO goals are happening, we can provide insight. We can connect them to emergency physicians if they're traveling or going to a conference somewhere, and we can be that bridge, and we pride ourselves on that. And then also we advocate to ACEP and to the larger emergency medicine community in the United States to provide to be more accessible and available to international physicians. There's a lot of IMGs that practice medicine in the United States, a large percentage, and we try to be a voice for them of how can they see emergency medicine as a career choice? How can we support them in that process? So advocating to other organizations and policymakers in the U.S. of how that can be made more easy. Also, another way that we're pushing for is to make exploring a career of international emergency medicine or global health for the U.S. physician. How do we make that more accessible? So looking at things like making medical student rotations more accessible or resident rotations so that they can still get funding for travel, even though they're rotating out as an elective in some other country for a month, which can create a lot of financial and legislative barriers for residents in different programs in the country. So really trying to find nationwide solutions, working with partners in other organizations to try to advocate for us all to be a more inclusive bidirectional community, I guess is probably the best way to put it. So that people can come and go because we're all doing the same work and we can learn for each other. That's some of the things that we do internally for ACEP, and there's definitely more. And then externally, we have an important position too. So ACEP was one of four organizations that founded the International Federation for Emergency Medicine, which was founded in, I believe, 1989, but it might be a few years around there. So IFEM, or International Federation for Emergency Medicine, it's a conglomerate organization where it brings together the national organizations for emergency medicine in all different countries around the world into a central body that can communicate, exchange ideas. And the ACEP, like I said, was one of the four founding members of it and maintains a really strong role. Two of their board members are ACEP members, and trying to just the stated goal, like I said earlier, of improving the quality of care for people around the world, right? I mean, speaking to people listening to this, I don't need to convince you that ER doctors are important and ERs are important, but the reality is that trying to get that message out to the world that all people everywhere in the world deserve timely access to high quality emergency care. And we see our role as the ACEP International Section really important advocator to get that message out, to support these international organizations, whether they're IFM, other groups, WHO, NGOs, etc., to try to improve the care people get. It's actually, I tell people it's complicated. There's a lot. It's very sprawling, but at the end of the day, the goal is very simple. We just want to make sure that when something happens to somebody, an illness or an injury, that they're able to get help. That's it. It's actually really simple.
Yeah, I was talking to someone who's not a doctor yesterday and told them that the specialty of emergency medicine has only been around for so long, and they were uh, surprised to say the least. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So communicating with other people and really telling the value of the specialty outside where it doesn't exist is probably something unique that we don't have to really deal with right inside of our own communities now, but also valuable for the future of the specialty around the world.
Well, and that's how we see our role as a partner to try to help others and show them what have we done in the past few decades in the US? How did it come from the white paper on traffic accidents that led into this amazing specialty that we have today? And how can we help others on that journey? Because, you know, for better or worse, we all think that it's important and we want to provide others with the support they need so they can get there too.
Yeah, and recognize things like that. So there's a FACEP International program. Tell me about that.
So FACEP International was something we talked about for a long time and just got approved this past year. And the idea here is that international members of ACEP, of which we have many, people that engage and they contribute to the college and not just the college, but they contribute to the way emergency care is delivered in the U.S. and they may not live or practice in the United States. So this is a way for people who did not are not ABEM certified, did not do a U.S. based residency, but they are ACEP members and contributing that they can have recognition for their efforts supporting emergency care and supporting the work of the college and all of our work. So FACEP I is a designation that is meant to be similar to the FACEP designation that traditionally is awarded by the college.
Yeah, so for those of you unfamiliar, the FACEP is the fellow of ACEP, so fellow of the American College of Emergency Physicians. So we're opening that up to our international colleagues who are our members but maybe don't have our certifications because they don't exist where they are because they need to build them. And that's our job and that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Tell me about the collaboration. There's an ACEP International Committee that you work closely with, and then you also work closely with EMRA to get those trainees in early. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so ACEP is a huge organization, right? So one of the things we do is try to make ourselves visible throughout the organization as a resource for people and also to engage everybody. So an interesting thing about global health is it's really everything. It's doing emergency medicine in different places. So it involves every aspect of emergency medicine, right? It involves things like ultrasound, like critical care, administration, whatever it may be. These things are applicable everywhere. So we really touch every other section and part of ASAP when we try to engage and we try to be the partner for them if there's people in that section looking to do international work. They can bring the specialty of their section and we can provide some know-how or resources or advice or networking on how to do work abroad. So that's somewhere where we really see a resource and we want to connect with other sections to help with that and committees. So we're the section, which is a very large open access group for people that want to join that are ACEP members. But then there's also the International Committee. And this was only founded a few years ago and it was the result of a lot of effort from section members who advocated to have a committee within ACEP focused on the international work that we do and how does ACEP position itself internationally in the bigger picture with all these other countries because we have a lot to offer as a real leader in emergency care. Like I said, as a founder of IFEM, so we've been doing this work for a long time. So the international committee is much smaller, and the members are appointed by the president of the college, like other committees, and they have their list of objectives. And we work very closely with them as a section to provide input to the committee members, and using things like the ambassador program, which is a powerful network. They want to collaborate or meet their objectives. We can connect them with the people, and we work very much hand in hand. I pretty sure that every committee member is also a section member, and we have a good working relationship, and there's a lot of crossover between the leadership. But the committee is important because we can provide that direct support and advice to the board. EMRA is also really important because they're the future, just like the GEMS LP program. It's we all do this work. We pass through it in ASAP through different roles, whether it's sections, committees, or other roles, council, all the different things you can get involved in. And but there needs to be a generation behind us that we're building something that's sustainable, and EMRA is what that is. And so one of our big priorities this year is to connect more tightly with EMRA and work with their leadership so that we can provide a pipeline and a pathway for residents who are interested in in global emergency medicine, which we know there's large numbers of that.
That's great. Foster it early because once you get kids and dogs, it's harder to think outside the borders. I love what you're saying that the FaceUp International program just got started. The International Committee just got started because you're really expanding your influence throughout the college. And you should because you've got so many different perspectives and so many different things that you're doing. And you're a great connection with outside organizations, especially internationally. So with all the great things you're doing, I think you still make it easy to get involved. So tell me, how can early career physicians or really any physician in ASAP looking to become a member of your section or to get involved and do more things, what can they participate in? How can they start?
The easiest way is to join our section meeting. We meet every month. We meet on Mondays. We alternate times between the morning and the evening to accommodate people's schedules. So every month. So we just met this week. Our next meeting will be in the end of February, on the last Monday of February. It's February 23rd, and that'll be in the morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. And it's a Zoom meeting. We posted on the International Section website on the ACEP page. So please join. Come and join. Join the section when you renew your ACEP membership. If you're an early physician or a resident, I think you can join a lot more. I'm pretty sure you can have even more access to sections. So take advantage of it. Come check us out. Listen in. There's no pressure. You can just show up even with your video off and just listen to what we're talking about. And if there's something that you're interested in, then reach out and we can help you. If you're at ACEP, at the Scientific Assembly, please come by. There's a few different things. Come by the exhibit hall to the Global Village. We're going to be there, and you can come find me or anybody else on our team. Also, the day before the conference, we have our international summit, and we'll be marketing that through the ACEP social media channels when it gets closer. And that's a great opportunity to come and meet ER doctors from around the world. And it's a really, and all the US ER doctors that are doing this work too. It's a really good turnout and community. We have a nice social event after it the night before ACEP starts. That's a real international event and a ton of fun. So come to that. Another thing is the mid-year summit for our ambassador program. We have our mid-year ambassador conference, which is completely online. That's going to be March 27th this year, which is the last Friday of March at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And there's going to be a lot of messaging going on about that. It's free to join. Anybody can join. I mean, last year we literally had people, ER doctors from around the world. It was incredible, and we're planning on having the same again this year. And we'll have specific presentations from a few different countries. So join that. And if all else fails and you can't figure out, just shoot me an email or message us on the section, and we'll get back to you because, like I said, I think. I see our biggest role as being a resource and a network for ER physicians who are looking to do this work and looking to connect with others around the world because we're all facing the same challenges. We all have the same goals. So the closer we can work together and have better lines of communication, that's really what we want to do. So if you're in a different section and you want to do international work, reach out. We can try to help you or work with you or collaborate. And if you're outside the US and interested in what ACEP's doing, reach out and we can connect you. That's really our number one goal is to connect everybody.
Great. Sounds really easy to get involved. Sounds like you've got education programs, you've got big summits, you've got scientific assembly, you've got the ambassador program, you've got Global Village, all great ways. Also, journal clubs, research partners, webinars you want to participate in, learn from. Also, if you've got great ideas to contribute, they're always looking for things for that and great ways to just get involved on a small scale and see where you want to go and where you can get your feet wet. Are the monthly meetings 10 a.m. the first Monday of the month? Or
Last Monday of the month.
last Monday? Okay, so monthly meetings, easiest way, last Monday of the month at 10 a.m. So go ahead and just contact them, get that Zoom link, and then start getting involved. Well, this has been great. I appreciate so much learning about your section and all the great things you do. I've got one last question. If I can go to one international conference, what's your favorite?
My favorite is always the African Conference on Emergency Medicine that's led by AFEM, the African Federation for Emergency Medicine. It's a great conference, moves around Africa. This year, this fall, it will be in Tanzania. So really great conference, amazing group of people that have done incredible work advancing emergency care in Tanzania, but also throughout the entire continent. So that's the top of my list this fall, but there's so many others. So I mean, really, you can't go wrong. There's a lot, and of course, we're trying to make ACEP a bit of an international conference itself. So that it's a destination on the international circuit to come to, and we have speakers from, like I said, last year we had a dozen different countries. So, and we plan to have even more this year.
Always a great place to go if you're worried about losing some CME money and want to get it used.
If you're going to use your CME money, what better to use it to go? Go travel internationally, learn something, meet somebody, and get a life experience out of it too.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with me here today. I really appreciate your time and hoping to get many more physicians involved in the great work that you do.
Thank you so much.